Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In the last video, I talked about when I was in a dark place and how I wanted to vanish. And today, as promised in the last video, I'm going to talk about how to care less, aka how to become a psychopath. Well, you can't be a psychopath unless you're born one, but if you're having a hard time letting things go, how to see things like psychopath would help a little. I wouldn't say I'm a psychopath, I would say I'm very rational. So today I'm going to talk about how I learned to overcome emotions and become rational. In order for you to see where I'm going with this, I'm going to break it down to 5 points. 1. You don't want their approval. 2. They don't care how your life turns out. 3. Nothing lasts forever. 4. You can't save the world. 5. Do what you can do. When I was young, I was always looking for somewhere I can belong. I always felt I wasn't part of any group. When you meet your classmate for the first time, you can kind of tell who you're gonna hang out with just by their looks. You would form a clique based on your looks or how you dress. You can kind of go, oh, we probably have same interest, we can be friends, just based on your looks. But since I didn't have certain looks or style that lets me in a certain clique, I've never met anybody who I could immediately tell we can be friends based on how we dress. Well, I did have a friend at middle school who I felt very connected with, but she was way smarter than me, so she went to a much smarter high school. I had to struggle finding someone who I can call my friend until the age of 23, and she and I are great friends to this day. Until then, I tried to hang out with some people with the same interest, which was dance, but whoever I hang out with, I never felt really connected with them. And when it feels wrong, sometimes they know that you don't belong there. The harder I try to fit in, I was suffocating even more. Well, if you're trying to impress somebody, then it's probably not a healthy relationship in the first place. The very people you want to be with, they will never judge you for who you are. They will accept you, they will love you for who you are. So if you feel you're trying too hard, maybe now's the time to move on and say goodbye to them. And let me talk about toxic relationship. This could be friendship, romantic relationship, or even the relationship with your parents. No matter how much you support them, if they don't have your back, then you don't want to be with them anymore. No matter how cool it seems to hang out with them, if you don't find them trustworthy, you can cut them off because you deserve better. These kind of people, the fake friends, or sometimes your family could be the toxic one. They have lots of opinions on what you do, but they're not living your life. You are. Even if you do everything they tell you to, they're not gonna take responsibility how your life turns out. They're not gonna guarantee your success. So why listen to them? It may feel horrible to cut them off, but if you're hurting in a relationship, cut them off. You deserve better. If you're in a dark place right now, it feels like there's no way out. I know I've been there, like I said in the last video, but I want you to know that nothing lasts forever, neither your depression and distress. If you can't believe that, remember when you got hooked on something. Anime, video game, any kinds of hobby, or the boy band you were standing. Are you still enthusiastic about them? Are you still passionate about the hobby? I used to stand Johnny's Jr. Especially Shibutani Subaru before his Kanjani era. Right now, I'm more into Jason Momoa kind of guy, and I can't remember why I liked Johnny's Jr. so much. So if you have even one thing you used to be enthusiastic about but not anymore, then you know what I'm talking about. Admiration or depression, they're both obsession, and it never lasts forever. When it dawns on you, when it really does, you can see yourself more objectively. At some point I realized that I hate being like this, feeling down, feeling depressed, and I was like, I want to get out of here. I'm originally very impatient, so maybe I got to this point faster than everybody else. But remember, you can take as much time as you need to be fully healed. If you feel you need more time, you can rest more. Don't underestimate this healing process. Once you get fully healed, the next process will be easier. One more thing I realized was, you can't save the world. There are a lot of things you can't control, especially when you're a sensitive person Every tragic incident you see on the news every day can hurt you. When I first learned about conspiracy theory regarding Illuminati and stuff, man, I got depressed and I lost all my hopes in humanity and wanted to vanish even more. So you better learn to focus on things you can actually do something about. No matter how hurt and sorry you feel for the loss, it doesn't bring back those lost ones, nor bring justice for whoever is responsible. Don't get me wrong, it's a beautiful thing to mourn for somebody, even though you don't know them. But can it make an actual change? Not necessarily. Will it pay the rent? Will it feed your family? Will it help you out of depression? No, it won't. It never solves actual problems you're facing. Yes, it's a hard truth. No matter how depressed you are, you will be the one to actually solve the problem you are facing. That's why I'm saying you need to be healed first, so that you can tackle your problems with full energy. So if you're not ready to face the problems yet, it's okay. Everybody's in different phases. You're wounded. You need to be healed. But just know that you need to get out of there eventually. You gotta scroll out of there. And in order to gain the strength, you need to be healed first. Once I realized those negative feelings will never linger forever and I gotta stand up and face the problems, I started to think getting stuck with emotion is kind of waste of time. I guess as I concentrate on actions and results, I started to be able to ignore my feelings. Well, I don't recommend you to do the same. It's a cruel way. I know I'm the coldest I could be in my life. Whenever I see people complaining about stuff, I'm like, why don't you just quit your job? Why don't you just leave your boyfriend? Why are you still obsessed? Because complaining doesn't do anything. I know you're supposed to be compassionate, but let's face it, it doesn't change a thing. Only your actions can make an actual change. I know sometimes I should be more compassionate for my friends, but since I went through dark phases and I hated it, I'd rather tackle problems and get over it as soon as possible. I know it sounds cruel, but it helped me so much. I have less struggles and pain. Well, I guess I don't have any anymore. All because I concentrate on tackling problems. Although I decided to ignore my feelings, I still can't get rid of it completely, and I'm not trying to. When I messed up big time at work, I got so upset and cried on the outside, but my mind was clear. Since I was crying, the person I was with tried to calm me down, but I was like, no, don't worry about it. I know I look upset, but I know exactly what I need to do. So my body can't catch up on my mind, but my head is always ahead to solve the problems. Again, I don't recommend you to do the same. It's a cruel, but I'm the strongest I have ever been, and I'm so confident in me because I came this far by myself. What I want to emphasize is, you don't have to do all the things. When it gets overwhelming, you can just let it go. And you don't have to be perfect. I mean, nobody's perfect. You can compare yourself to someone more perfect and feel depressed all you want, but it's utterly pointless. It's an endless struggle. You don't want to keep hurting yourself like that. For example, my English will never be better than Chika-san or Inoue-jo-san. I mean, fuck's sake, they're native speakers. You know, I can keep hurting myself by comparing myself to them if I like, but I won't. Because it's pointless. They grew up speaking English. It's only natural they have more vocabulary than me. So what? That doesn't stop me. I won't stop because I believe there's something I can do. Everybody has their own power. I might not be as fluent as native speakers, but I can communicate with them. That's what matters, doesn't it? I believe I can inspire people because I'm not a native speaker. I believe I can be sort of a beacon of hope for whoever gave up learning English. That's the part I'm gonna do to show people you don't have to be born or live in an English-speaking country. You can communicate with people in English, and it doesn't have to be perfect. So once you're healed and want to move on to the next, find a spot you can shine on. You don't have to be better than somebody for that, because not everybody can inspire everybody. The influencers you're studying, they have lots of haters for some reason, and the influencer you're not big fan of, they have lots of followers for some reason. That means everybody has their people they can influence. Well, that's what kept me going when I had less than 100 subscribers, and it will keep me going and going and going, because I believe there are still a lot of people out there who I can inspire. With that said, what I want to tell you is, discover your strength. Maybe that's not what you originally wanted to pursue as a career, but I believe everybody has the role they can shine with. So, good luck finding one for you. Alright, that's all I wanted to say. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you find this video helpful, please give me likes and don't forget to subscribe to my channel and click the bell to get a notification every time I upload a video. Bye guys.